All Things Unexplained.
Let's get right into it. CJ, you got a Bigfoot story for us to lead us all.
Speaking of big, we'll jump right into Bigfoot. So this is an interesting one that I had to sort of go back and watch many times. So in Canada, this guy, Terrence Liano, was out in the woods doing a live demonstration of his throat singing technique. That was a new one for me. I don't know if you guys know much about throat singing. Seemed very sort of native and tribal to me. But anyways, yes. As he was doing it, a deer froze by where he was, and that caught his attention. And live streaming, he panned his phone over to the deer and said, I think he came looking to see what the sound was. I'm paraphrasing. That might not have been exactly what he said, but something of that nature. And then scanned it, went back to himself, did a little bit more throat singing, and then back to the deer just to get video of the deer watching him. Didn't think anything of it. And then later, all of these viewers started chiming in saying, you gotta look in the background. Something is happening in the background. There are two beings of some sort, two creatures in the background. It's not just the deer. And so at first I watched this video on my phone and I had a really hard time seeing. I couldn't quite get an image of what it was. So I decided to pull it up on my computer and freeze, do the freeze frame thing. And I have to admit, it looks like, well, one of them to me almost looks alien in nature, and the other one does look like some sort of Sasquatch, Bigfoot looking thing. So,
should I play the video, CJ?
Yes, play the video.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Or skinwalkers, or Bigfoots, who knows, picked up on a live video only a few feet away from a deer, and the deer seems completely oblivious to them, which makes this even more compelling. A guy on TikTok who goes by the name of Throat Sing King, who specializes in throat singing. If you don't know what throat singing is,
it's very Aboriginal stuff. That's what it reminded me of. And there's the deer. You can see interacting with his throat singing. And yeah, sure enough, back there, super creepy, right?
This
Two dark
TikTok
shapes.
is filled to the brim with these throat singing techniques, but on this particular live stream, he noticed these two eerie figures in the background. He didn't notice them at the time, and when he did, he uploaded this short clip to his account. The goal of this particular throat singing video was to mesmerize the deer and get close to the deer, but it seems he caught the attention and instead mesmerized these two creepy figures who seem to be
moving around back there.
And the deer seems completally oblivious to
totally
these two
dark, but they appeared upright.
The video gets a little bit blurry and distorted as a result of the live stream. But what did this guy pick up on camera?
I was looking for where the sound was coming from, but I stopped and started talking, and I was confused.
Yeah, right. So they totally appeared.
Watching it on here, you can't quite see it. When I went back and watched it on my computer, and that was the only thing, and I made it as big as I could, and I paused it. Truly, the front creature, whatever it is, looks so alien to me. And then behind it, it does look like some kind of large, furry creature of some sort. But the front one looks very feminine, and the one behind it looks very masculine. And the other thing to consider is that deer didn't move. Whatever it was, the deer didn't seem to notice these other creatures behind it. So, had it been a human, I think that they would have moved. Maybe not. I've been obviously very close to deer before, but generally speaking, that's in areas where deer are used to being around people. And this seemed to be out in the woods.
Yeah, that didn't look like it would be a domesticated type deer, quote unquote, domesticate.
No, this seems to be very wild, and you get the feeling that whatever is moving up behind the deer is also very wild in nature, like it's moving stealthily, like it's stalking this animal. And I tell you something, CJ,
movements are so different.
Yes, I tell you something that impressed me about this video. It's not your typical Bigfoot video where it's just an anonymous thing. Nobody knows when it came out. Nobody knows who made it. But we know this guy. He's on TikTok, and he's known right? You can find him. We know where it came out. When it came out, we know where he shot it at. You know, we know all these things about it. And it just makes it very believable to me that this is an unexpected capture of something on film by a legitimate person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
mean, when
did
you
look
sent
like
it
the
to me, I
alien
was
presence in the
skeptical.
front. I thought the front one, maybe it was Bigfoot and alien out on a date. Who knows?
Well, you know, now that you say that, I mean, how many times have we encountered the theory that perhaps Bigfoots are aliens? Maybe
Are
they're the
aliens.
ones driving the UFOs.
And that's
Yeah.
true. But, you know,
Or they're moving in and out with portals, right? We've heard that theory too. So I thought it was a wild video. CJ, what's your final take on this Bigfoot video?
You know, I wanted to be skeptical. When you sent it to me, I was still skeptical. I watched it on my phone and was still skeptical. And then when I pulled it up on my computer and watched it again, it was unexplained. I couldn't say, oh, that's just a person that caught wrong, or maybe that's just a deer at a different angle. It really did not look like either of those. It looked like something entirely different. Just the way that it moved across the screen and how quickly it moved and how effortlessly it moved. It was just very different than anything I had seen before. So I'm going to say not a deer, not a human.
Right.
Whether or not I can conclude that it's a Bigfoot or UFO, I don't know. But
Smitty, is it fair to say, both of you, this is not a hoax, but it is unexplained?
it is unexplained. Especially, like I said, I've been in the woods thousands of times, and it's very rare to get that close to a deer in the woods like that. Now, at a city park or somewhere like that, it's different. But this is a little different situation.
That's right. All right. Great story. Unexplained is the official synopsis.
All things unexplained.